Just real quick, man. I want to before a bunch of people jump in here, or if nobody jumps in here, I'm gonna wait to the gym. Want to chop it up with y'all about something real quick. You know, I see this morning on one of my posts, I joked with my guy Adrian Norman back and forth about something I said about Beyonce, whatever. And then I go through my notifications and I see a guy from one of these organizations, a pro-black organization, or their definition of pro-black, right? And seeing that, he says something along the lines of like, bad y'all, hold on, my bad y'all. He says something along the lines of, it was a post that I made about Free Kyle Rittenhouse and Mumia Abu-Jamal. And in that process, he says the fact that you use both of their names in one phrase is some Negro-ish or something of that nature. Now, let me say this. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. Make sure you subscribe, like all of this, share, whatever, okay? In that process of him saying that, I go to his page and I look, and I'm like, first thing I'm like, yo, hop off my dick. That's number one. You are allowed to be active in areas. If you are active and you maintain a standard for a thing, if you maintain that someone has the right to defend themselves from other people, I don't care who that person is, people have the right to defend themselves from other people. Now, for those of you that don't know who Kyle Rittenhouse is, 17-year-old at the time, that shot in self-defense 2 or 3 people over there, in Kenosha. Okay? The argument is because I have a white following and I have a black following, it's called Black Guns Matter, that somehow it's wrong of me to say Mumia Abu-Jamal should be freed because I clearly he didn't get a justified trial. And Kyle Rittenhouse should be free because he exercised the right to self-defense. And I look on these guys' pages that say, it's usually guys, when they say shit like this, it's usually guys that have like more of a pro-black leaning. Now, be clear, I am pro-black. I think that the experience of black Americans is unique to say the least. I use that phrasing all the time. But being pro-black does not mean I hate anybody else. I'm concerned in the community that I live, the black community, and historically recognizing what attempts or attacks have been made on those communities. I want to empower that community. As we all know, gun control is racist. That's why Black Guns Matter exists, to inform people primarily in urban centers about their right to keep and bear arms. And predominantly, urban centers are dominated by democratic policies that have not been productive for black people. That's just it. Malcolm said that 60, damn near 70 years ago, okay? Pro-black means I'm trying to empower a community that was under attack for some time. Okay, pro-black does not mean I'm running around like being mad at white people or just name calling white people. A lot of the people that you name calling don't have no fucking power. They just because they white don't mean they got some damn power. So this person has more of a pro-black leaning, and I did a video a while ago called "You Ain't Pro-Black," and I want to touch on what is activism, because a lot of these guys, they call themselves activists because they pull out their red, black, and green flags or their red, white, and blue flags, and they go march and they they Trump flags or whatever flag, and they go do a demonstration. They walk up and down the street. They do shit that is like fucking symbolism. That is not activism. That is propaganda. When you see people running around with the American flag and waving it and wearing it, and all of that is a show of their appreciation for whatever, insert whatever flag, okay? An activist is someone that is active in the community consistently, involving the people on all of the areas of the political sphere, on all of the areas of human activity. Activism, a section of that is a certain level of propaganda, meaning showing the symbols that you represent, which is a part of it, But that's not the work. I am past the fucking walking, marching up the street shit. I've been past that shit for years. 4 years. Somebody talking about Dr. Boyce's. Look, see, that's what I'm talking about. Motherfuckers jump in here and talk about somebody else as opposed to dealing with the situation at hand. And that person might even call that activism. It's not. But anywho, let me get back to the point at hand. If you identify as an activist, because a lot of people will say activist is a bad thing, or you woke, as if woke is a bad thing. The opposite of woke is sleep. And if you, man, I need to comb my beard. If you sleep out here, you sleepwalking. You in the matrix. To be woke is to be paying attention and cognizant and conscious of your immediate and further extending surroundings. So woke is good. Activism, in the truest sense, wanting economic, social, political, and financial empowerment for yourself, your family, your community, that is activism. That's being active. Throwing up a red, black, and green flag, walking around, name calling, that shit is not activism. It's not. Putting together cool logos and just saying we doing it for the community. What have you fucking done for the community? I can tell you what I've done for the community. I've got Black Americans, our work at Black Guns Matter, in conjunction with other instructors, attorneys, businesses, so forth and so on, across the nation for the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years, has turned into Black America being the new largest gun purchasing demographic in the country. We had a stated agenda. We got active in the communities across the nation for years, and we accomplished that initial goal. Black people are now the largest new gun buying demographic in America. That was a goal that we accomplished. That goal was accomplished as of March of, I think, 2019. Black Guns Matter came into existence in 2016. So in 3 years, we accomplished a very big goal. The next goal, whether it's me at the helm or somebody else, the next goal is to turn those gun owners into a new political base. We are going to shift political direction. We are not going to be empowering goofballs in political, local, state, or federal office that want to now make that largest gun buying demographic felons for purchasing firearms lawfully. That is a form of activism. That's the political part. We did the social and self-defense part. We're still going to continue to do that. But you don't see me walking up and down the street with a red, white, and blue flag, a red, black, and green flag. None of that shit is more important than the actual work. None of it. So when I see these guys talking about, oh, we in the hood with it, and I go to their page and I see them just, flying a whole bunch of flags, and I don't care what flag it is. I don't care what flag it is. I don't care. A flag is a symbol that's supposed to represent the substance. And if the substance is horrible, if your community is not, you haven't even figured out one business in the community to support, but you're talking about you an activist and you in the community with it, you're a fucking walking symbol. That means nothing. If you're talking about you a patriot, and in the middle of your patriotism is just about a flag or back the blue or this, and you don't even know who the fucking city council person is in your district, who, what's going on with the budget for the school department, in your neighborhood, that's not activism. It's not. It's over-glorified shit talking. And usually, a lot of times, it's the far extremes of those types of guys. It's the super extreme red, white, and blue flag waving dude that's mad at me because I'm supporting black issues. Or it's the super leftist, damn near socialist, damn near communist motherfucker that doesn't really understand how world history has applied itself in regards to those political ideologies. It's those guys with the red, black, and green flags that's super mad that I say, at the same time, free Mumia Abu Jamal because he didn't get a fair trial, as well as free this white 17-year-old kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, for defending himself against three guys. I think one of them, motherfucker, had like pedophile convictions. So it's that guy. It's always those extreme ends. And I don't give a fuck about you calling yourself pro-black if you, just because you standing around with a fucking flag. That doesn't mean anything. Have you opened and or supported businesses in the community? Have you got a mask mandate removed in the community? Have you got some of the money redirected, since you're so socialist? Did you redistribute some of the wealth that's going on to empower the community? Meaning, say, yo, we raised and gave away damn near, over $400,000 to do this work over the last 4 years. We allocated people voluntarily and said, yo, if you want to put towards this, and that added to black people being the largest new group of gun owners in America. These people now have the basic means to defend themselves from tyrannical governments and just fucking bad guys. That is activism. These guys that are on these far extreme ends of the flag spectrum, that's just saying shit, that come into my comment section to talk shit about the fact that I'm not just unnecessarily hating on white people, or the fucking other end, the red, white, and blue flag waving guys that's just coming on my comment section, mad that I'm not outwardly bashing people that more identify with the phrase Black Lives Matter, or people that are trying to rebuild a black community that was impacted. If black America's better, America's better. All boats rise as the tide rises. So if I live in a predominantly black community that I'm in right now, and I'm doing the work there across the country where we see the Second Amendment was not being evenly applied, and you red, white, and blue flag waving motherfuckers is mad and calling them thugs and this, that, and the third, both ends of those flag spectrums are a part of the problem. And you're not activists. You're not patriots. You're bigots. Figuring out a cool way to make your bigotry or racism look like it's somehow accepted. No scientific data behind your statements. You mad that a 17-year-old had the means to defend himself because he's white. But at the same time, we say Trayvon Martin should have had the means to defend himself. Where's your fucking standard? Trayvon Martin should have. I wish Trayvon Martin would have had a firearm to defend himself from Zimmerman. I wish he would have. Because contrary to ignorant people's opinion, 17 years old is old enough, based on this space, a member of the militia, which consists of the people, the minimum age requirement for that human right, based on if we give it an age limit, is 17. You're not an activist just because you highlight symbols and different hues or ethnicities. And I will never fucking apologize for maintaining the standard. If you're a person that has no scientific data and not in the scientific conversation about the inferiority or superiority of one group over another, and I'm not talking about financial, I'm talking about you just hate them because of their skin tone, fuck you, bro. Fuck you. I don't fuck with you. Unfollow, unsubscribe. I'm not for you. I have a balanced approach to this shit. The problem is everybody talking about just freedom for their so-called respective group. They cool with the oppression on the other groups, but that's how every group gets their fucking rights violated. Because if I just let the white boys get their rights violated, what makes you think the state not fucking coming for my rights right after that? If you just let the black dudes get their rights violated, what the fuck makes you think the state ain't coming for you right after that? Activism is not bigotry. Activism is active community, especially on a local level, active community work that empowers the people socially, politically, financially, and spiritually, regardless of an economic status, regardless of whether you like that person or not. You ain't doing it for a skin tone. You're doing it for a standard. And that's activism. And if you are just one of them fake extreme patriots or so-called red, black, and green, white, and blue flag waving activists, you're a fucking fraud. Leave me the fuck alone. Get off my dick. Be safe. Be solutionary.